Winona Ryder for president.
She's got a record.
He has been a talented.
She has a record.
He has been a talented
They
guy.
do a background check when you apply for
They
president.
do.
I know.
I think Joe Walsh.
She got busted for shoplifting.
All
Someone
right.
can keeping her out too.
Well, I'm going to go to the other room and I'm going to pull.
That killed her
pull
career,
wires
too.
and make our sound change.
Yeah. It shouldn't
Apparently,
have. I
our
mean, there's a lot of better ways
left.
to done
You're
worse
on
than
top.
that.
Which room?
Paul Rubens.
Yeah, but
his
am I
career
still
got,
fuzzy?
No,
killed
you're much better.
pretty easy.
Oh,
I think it was that maybe
Big
you
room.
maybe you weren't.
Was that supposed to be?
You have a little lock
I don't
on that
think
thing,
Yeah.
right?
that
I
should've
don't think it
killed
was
us.
all the way down.
Wasn't locked down. Okay.
Right? Did you feel it tighten up a little bit? It needed it, and it fixed it.
Good. Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Very good cookies. Good
How's the
cookies.
tea?
Thank you.
Much
Let's
better
see. I'm
than
about to
eating a
check this
condom.
tea. How is this tea now?
Here's a packet for you.
I wouldn't trust one of those right there.
We have good
Two
tea.
packets.
Wouldn't
No.
trust them.
I wouldn't trust those right there. They'll sit on the table right there.
And how was your tea? Was it oversteeped or not?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Why not? The table hurting somehow?
Well, I wouldn't use anything but a name brand. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna?
Is there
Are
a
you
name
gonna wear
brand? Is there
one?
direction?
Lucky
I'm gonna step
boy.
outside.
Yeah, one of those is named.
You're a lucky boy.
We'll come with.
Apparently so.
No, Lifestyle's the name. Yeah, that's
and
named
a
right.
Trust X.
They're in a coffee shop. I mean,
Trust X brand.
Lucky Boy's the one I knew about. I've seen 5 solos at Jelly Rouge
Why do you have white gloves on?
because I am a sophisticated.
Do you have a? Do you
she's
have
dressed
a?
all formal head to toe. Isn't she?
Yes, I am. I'm always am because I'm sophisticated, and I like to come to things like this for John and express my opinion on his insanities.
I'm trying to think. Even Winona Ryder's like a decade old.
A decade old.
I mean, in terms of her stardom, she's a decade plus.
And plus, I have them on
stardom,
because I
yeah.
didn't have time to do my nails.
It makes her pushing 30 anyway.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on TV with bad nails.
I believe me, my nails are not looking good right now. So yeah.
But so who's a smart model actress, just like
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore?
Maybe.
She'd make a good one.
Definitely not Halle Berry.
Meryl
I'm not
Streep is
clear
very
on how smart she is.
If we want to take this trip to like fantastic and go into total fantasy about electing an actress as the president, okay,
Well, I'm trying
Meryl Streep, because she could be a bitch, a good bitch. She could be tough.
Hillary?
No, Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep. Did you see her in The Devil Wears Prada?
I don't think
She
so.
was
Oh no.
very bad.
Maybe I did. Yeah.
She was very bad.
Bad.
Not to be.
I don't use
now,
that
I
word.
don't know who's current.
When I said the Halle Berry, now that would if she were to per se Halle Berry would have become president of the United States, that would enter a new era of president. That would be 2 brand new things for our country.
Black and female.
Black and female president. Do you realize what kind of shakeup that would be?
I don't know. It depends on what her issues are.
The first president, the first female president, was also the first black president. Think how that would.
Yeah, but it's still how much it shook the country up depends on what her policies are.
I guess
don't know what they
so,
are.
but how people view her policies based on that.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, John, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing?
I got your cold, by the way. I got your cold. I was
My cold?
very sick last week.
I'm sorry. I tried not to spread that.
I know, but
I really did.
I got it 6 days after I left here.
6 days is too long. I don't think it was mine. I think you got someone else.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
denying ownership of its
No,
gold.
no,
It's not
two
the
to
day
3
after,
days I'd have bought
yeah.
it. 6 days was too long.
That's too long.
Oh.
Sorry.
I thought it was like a week to 10-day incubation period for rhinovirus.
I think this one is like 2 to 3 days.
Okay, well then, so it wasn't yours, but I had a cold.
Yeah. It was awful, wasn't it? I hated it.
I had to go to bed and
Do you
take a lot of cold medication
Do you
at
feel
night
better
because I
now?
can't stand to take it in the daytime. But
Well, we
I
missed-
put it to sleep.
We
Put me to
missed you.
sleep with it on. Well, thank you.
We missed you when you were gone.
So I was sick, and
Yes. Well, thank you for not coming and giving it yet to more people.
yeah.
You know.
But yeah, see, that's a very respectful thing.
Right.
I don't ever like to call into work, and I never have called into work, but I've worked sick before. But sometimes that's the idea is like, you call in so you don't get other people sick. But I am greedy, and I want to work and make my money.
What do you do?
I work nights at Ingalls on Merriman Avenue.
Doing what?
Putting stuff on the shelf. Laboring. I'm a laborer.
A stock boy, I believe.
Do you wear your white gloves then? Too?
No, hell no.
Yeah, but I see. But he does wear all his stuff from Hot Topics and stuff. He
I wear
like
black all the time.
he wears
no matter
black and he
what.
has all these like straps and stuff hanging all over him and stuff. Is one of those outfits.
I can wear whatever I want, and I can run the place at night when my boss is gone. I can do, it's a cool place there at night.
He's at what we call Super Ingles in the Merriman.
That's the big one. That's like they just built that brand new one. That's right
The palace, the Grand Palace of Ingalls.
The Grand Palace. It is.
That is. I walked in there just a few minutes ago to get some milk for our show, and I'm like, man, this place is just cathedral ceiling, and it's just.
It's like the Taj Mahal of Ingalls.
Yeah. Now the biggest one building size is that out there in Skyland or something.
Uh-huh.
It's like the biggest one as far as building size is. The biggest one financially grossing as far as like profits and all that is Waynesville.
Really?
What they do like $1 million a week. in
The
business.
big one in Waynesville. My goodness.
Waynesville. It's like $1 million a week.
Is that like the
I've
only
been in there
grocery
a
in
bunch,
town,
and I've
or
never
what?
noticed
What now?
Is that the only grocery in town, or what's the deal?
I have no idea.
Is there a lot of people buying a lot of groceries for their family in Waynesville?
I have no idea what the deal is. That's the biggest one as far as money goes.
Maybe this
Now
one.
the one on Merriman is like number 2 or 3 as far as
Oh, really?
financially. Another big one is the Weaverville one.
Yeah, the Weaverville one. I thought
That's
about
big.
being pretty big.
But the thing about the Ingalls on
24
Merriman
hours.
is so is the one on Merriman. But the one on Merriman doesn't have fuel. Gasoline for sale. So they do it without that. Now Weaverville does have that.
Uh-huh.
So they do that. But yeah, there's some really big ones around here. Now another one that does a big one is on Leicester Highway, believe it or not.
The one on the corner there of Patton and Leicester?
No,
Lester?
that's no,
No,
that
the
one.
one
The one
further,
further
yeah,
down
no,
by
big
way
Sonic,
on
right?
down,
Yeah, that's
yes.
down where I live. Yeah.
That's a big one.
Well, yeah, everyone in this,
Leicester.
everyone in Leicester has to come into that unless
Yes.
if they want to shop at a supermarket.
Now that one on the corner of Patton, that one's that's number 2. That's like the second store. ever
That's
built.
ready for him to burn down, isn't it? Like he did burn down the one on
I
Charlotte
don't-
Street right there?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to that one, but the one on the corner of
It
Patton.
burned down.
It burned down, I guess.
It burned down
burned down.
mysteriously at night.
The one on the corner of Patton is number 2. That's like the second store ever built.
Yeah, well, it's time for to burn it down
Apparently so. Yes.
and upgrade.
That's what they need to do. They don't have space. You got roadside, road in front, and then you can have.
You got this
You just
tiny
have like a little
parking lot over there.
Ingalls
Yeah,
Mini
tiny.
Mart, with their best-selling items.
Unless
there.
they want to just tear off that part of the road next to it and move the road over about 100 feet, which I don't know how they would do. I don't really see how they put a giant one there. And then of course you have to extend the parking lot, which means you have to move the other part of the road about another 100 feet out. So
Well, if you can buy the lot behind it.
they have to tear out a lot of land.
See, I thought that's what they were doing before when I first moved down here. I thought that they were trying to rebuild over there to set it back, or that's what I heard. And now they still have construction going on over
Well,
there.
that is a broken water
What
line.
is it? How long are they going to be working on
Well, of
it?
course,
It's
the
not
smart
big
way to
dig
do
or
it,
anything.
if
It's
they can
like-
devise an elevator
Probably
for the
gas out
shopping
there, to be
carts,
honest.
they could
But,
build
they're
it. They could
not.
build it
It's
up.
just
They
it's
could have it on
a
the second floor.
Broken water line for one.
Two-story grocery
Yeah,
store.
they've been working on it for a
And we
long
don't have
time.
any 2-story grocery
there's
stores in
no
town. How about if they
Well,
just had a
yeah.
ramp
Yeah, it's hard to deal with the carts, but
and then you could,
Elevator.
ride,
carts might roll
elevator.
down them. Yeah,
Elevator.
ride down the
or
ramp. If there's a
or something
ramp,
like
you
that.
could put your kids in there and like push them down the ramp and like, wee, there
When I
they
was
go.
in Brazil, I was in a grocery store. It was just like that. Had a side or kind of underground parking lot,
Uh-huh.
and you just went up like a handicap ramp to the floor.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
You just pushed your buggy up and down the ramps. There was like 2 or 3 ramps
Uh-huh.
yeah. So you could have a 2-story grocery store.
Yeah.
easily.
Well, they have in New York. They have 2 or 3-story Home Depots. Basically, in their downtown, the parking is like under the building, like you go under like a tunnel. It's under it, and they have elevators in
Well,
there.
that's the only way they can work in New York.
Yeah.
To build up.
Built up, yeah, because there's no space on the ground. So, but like they have, like I heard the way they stock there is like they'll have push a pallet in with a jack into the elevator, and there's no room for the person to get in, so they close it. At the floor where it goes up, there's a person there waiting, and the door opens to pull it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
I've been in some smaller stores that were like that. I was a truck driver.
Now, what is it called that you're into that where you don't want people to reproduce? What is that? Does it have a name?
Overpopulation.
Overpopulation.
Are we talking about that again?
Yeah, we were earlier. I was just about to bring up.
solve that
I was just
problem.
about to bring up. I was just about to bring up that now it's time for you. You're not a member of URTV, are you?
We
No.
could at least
Okay.
start that.
Now it's time for you to join URTV
Well, I mean, hell, you
and get
need
your
to
own
do
show
this better than
and
nothing.
about
Yes, you know.
about that subject.
Except if it's just me sitting here, I can't think of what to say. Somebody has to ask me a question.
Well, then you'll have to get other people.
Yeah.
Well,
I
as
guess.
far as
Yeah.
on subject of overpopulation,
But
well,
you'll need to in order to have a show that revolves around that particular subject, you'll need to get
Yeah,
your
because
own
it
show.
keeps coming up all the time when you're here.
So does politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much can you say about, we need to not overpopulate?
Well, we're talking about like he said earlier. Well, someone said earlier about how maybe we should do a I don't know an IQ test to see if they're liable, they're capable, that they should be allowed to reproduce or not.
That was your idea.
That was my idea.
Oh,
But that's the
No,
foundation of eugenics that I brought in the book.
it wasn't. It was like you have to pass a test to prove that you know how to drive.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
then
a
when you
diaper
pass
changing
the
test.
test, then you
Can drive, and you have
So
to
if
have
you-
a test that can prove you know how to have sex in order to have sex.
No,
Okay.
That's
that
pretty
you
simple,
have some
man.
basic understanding about what parenting entails,
Oh,
so
to
that
be-
you don't
be
raise a
one.
serial killer
Yeah.
or whatever,
Supposedly, also, I
or
guess
that
since-
you're terribly, terribly, terribly abusive to your
Yeah, that's
children.
true.
Right.
So you have to pass a test that some basic ground rules about parenting.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is very that
It's too
implementing that-
logical. I think it's too logical.
Maybe, but also it's controversial.
And
'cause the
someone
ground-
someone who was right behind talking said, "That's scary."
The thing is, it's great on paper, but the thought is, how are you going to get people? Because people just have 50%
It's
of
like Marxism. It looks good on paper, doesn't it?
50% of pregnancies are unplanned.
Well, also the ground rules aren't set. The ground rules are controversial.
Yeah.
People
usually-
disagree about it.
these
There's
days
no
it's ju-
consensus on the ground rules.
It's generally, the parents raise them based on their things like their religious beliefs, their beliefs as far as what's right and wrong, or some parents are as low as just they don't care.
Well, that's the reason those shouldn't be having any young'uns.
Absolutely, but the thing is, that's the problem. Is more people that don't care have kids than the ones that do. From what I've seen, anyway.
That's how come they should be fined.
Fine for having kids.
Yes.
Fine for having sex.
No, you don't have to fine them for that. You need to fine them if they do wrong.
Well, but we did. Well, if the kids get out of line, generally
There is a problem with that. You have to put it in a fund for the kids though, because if you fine the parents, then the parents have less with which to support the kids.
Yes, so they can't. But now they do things like this. So, like, say the parents, the kids from the parents from foster homes, they'll go in jail or they law like this, and that until they prove they're liable. But it would be better if they just made them liable, pretty sure they're liable before they had the children.
Yeah, nip it in the bud.
Absolutely. So, I think.
But I think it's too radical. People say that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is just scary.
Well, it's eugenic. Well, no, actually, it's not quite eugenic.
It's the it would be.
Well,
the,
thank God I don't rule the world.
there are people I know I think who actually do all right with ruling the world. They got a lot better ideas than some of these other blood nuts that are running it. Yeah.
I'm still, going back to the roots. How can you have any one person rule anything? They weren't here. They don't know what's gonna happen or what was.
God,
I just don't see
I don't
how
know.
you could choose anybody to be in charge. That's just my opinion.
I've
Who's to say?
been all around the religious scene my entire. I never even set foot in a school. I've never been to a school or never. I was homeschooled till I was 16.
Probably better though.
What?
Probably better that way.
No, it's not.
Some ways.
I quit when I was 16. Got a GED when I was 18.
How do you quit homeschool? Why do you go to your parents and say,
I'm
I'm out of here?
I just quit doing it.
You definitely run away from home. Would you like?
No,
it?
I just quit doing it, and I got a GED when I turned 18.
How do you have a sick day or a snow day?
Don't.
You don't get a snow day, do you? You get
Fundamentals
like
of childhood, you have to.
Here's the
Summer
bottom line.
vacation?
I didn't. Yes, we did that. I did not learn the things I needed to learn. Not only book in the first place, but as far as socializing as well. And when I went to GED class, I learned so much there. And it was easy and it was simple. I was like, the first thing I thought was when I got it, I was just like, why do people go to high school for 4 years when they can do this? But at the same time, you get the social thing. You also get people actually want to learn the stuff more in depth. And instead of just taking 4 basic tests and saying, okay, good. GED also stands for good enough degree.
All right, so have
I
you
just
gone
got
back
my
to your
guide,
parents
good
and
enough
said,
degree.
what were you thinking? You didn't teach me anything that I really needed to know? Did you give them hell?
Yes, I still to this day do sometimes.
Come back and haunt them?
I still haunt them.
Good.
But at the same time, she just did what she thought. It was based off religious beliefs. She didn't think public school was good. And she will always make the argument to me that she tried to get me to go to school around 7th grade. But the thing is, by then it was really too late because I'm very shy and skittish kind of person. I didn't really think of being just thrown into the lion's den with all these kids that, but not knowing anybody, I thought I would just melt, and I would have.
Lord Raven wore his gloves. I assume you
Yes.
checked that out?
Kids are rough.
I asked him why
Yes.
he was wearing them.
I didn't get my nails done in time. But, yes, and kids can be rough, and I would have just killed me, I think. And the thing is, when I got my GD, I got a job that I like. I've worked there for 3 years, and I work there to this day. And I like it, and, and I've made my way doing that. And, as far as other things go.
What would you say to parents who are homeschooling their children that you think was right or wrong with that particular process?
As far as homeschooling goes, I say that if you're going to homeschool, you need to make sure first you're qualified to teach.
Yes.
Then, after that, you need to make sure it's not based solely off your religious beliefs. You need to think about what's best for the kid overall, for the world, because that kid is not necessarily going to accept your beliefs. And if you try and force them on them by doing something like homeschool off their religion, they're just going to reject it, be more likely to reject it.
Well said. What do you think?
So,
I hear you.
Okay.
They need to understand that
Well
they need to
said.
be liable to teach and able to teach. Like a teacher has to go to college to learn to teach, to be a teacher in a classroom for 5th graders, 6th graders, whatnot. So, just because a person's of a certain religion, does that mean that I'm going to homeschool now? Okay, does that mean they're qualified to homeschool? Just because they have the books and the curriculum, if they can order online or wherever or get it from wherever. It doesn't make them automatically bestow them the ability to teach just because they're part of a religion.
That's built on the concept that the adult is intelligent, isn't it?
That's what it's saying is that the adult knows it and the kids don't, so basically they're just teaching them.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'm getting a little concerned about tea on the book. Thanks.
Pass a couple of blue
We move the
packages of
condoms,
chemicals.
please. So I can put that
Yeah, get the condoms
Those
and
things
the
are
hygienic
lingering
stuff
all
off the
over.
table so that we can have our
They
tea.
were
Yes.
requested.
That's fine.
He's got a
thank you.
condom brain.
Do you have something planned for the Triple XT party this week? Is that what this is?
That's not until tomorrow. We can't discuss that. We're gonna paint everybody blue, and we're gonna run a background.
One thing I said earlier, I was mentioning about why condoms are different colors. Is that like a fetish or something of some kind?
Yes.
I think it's a novel.
It's for the colorblind
novelty
people that are
gimmick.
trying to. Oh, it's for colorblind.
I just don't understand it. I
They
mean,
We're colorblind.
Yeah, if you're
No.
colorblind.
do you ask a
Can't
girl?
see that
Do
thing
you have a
that's
color
white.
preference or something?
Well,
Yes.
if it's for colorblind, what do you put it on and say? Is this green to you or is it blue? What do you see? Is it?
What do you think about the green
Well,
Johnson?
I want to know.
There it is. I think I hear a new superhero, the Green Johnson.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes, there's a new superhero in town.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No.
It's an Oscar Mayer.
It's a great big green Oscar Mayer Johnson.
Brought.
Brought.
What is in this tea?
I don't know.
We have good tea.
Or kielbasa.
Oh no.
I did see some extra large ones in there, so I think we can handle it.
Or they're really.
Or they're really
Excel.
sized.
Well, they all look the same to me. Sorry.
This is you, Brody,
XL.
getting completely out of
Who would
hand.
admit to going in and buying an extra small?
Small.
Well, I'm
Sorry, sir.
all,
All we have is the extra large.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to
Shrink
shrink
wrap
wrap
them.
Extra.
Right.
That would get funny if somebody out complex. All our extra smalls are here. All the extra larges are sold out.
They
Doing my
just
finger
they
cuts.
just shrink wrap them.
Yeah.
Saran wrap
Yeah.
or something. Or,
They get
heat
bigger
shrink
size, get a blow dryer.
blow dryer.
shrink wrap.
With the little Easter egg covers.
Or hell, you can just do it old fashionedly and just use a balloon.
Did they do that?
I think I've seen a porno somewhere where they were using a balloon as a condom. It was
Oh.
weird, but
Well, that would, I guess if
You
you
would need those long tube boy shaped.
Those
yeah, like the ones that do the little dogs with and all that. Yes,
You need the animal balloons.
animal balloons.
right, exactly.
Would you like the giraffe?
Go to your
tonight?
nearest toy store. Would you like the poodle size or the giraffe size?
Fabulous. The poodle size.
The elephant or the
I'll
mouse.
take the elephant size, please.
Would you like me to make it in the shape of a giraffe before I put it in or something?
Ooh. Yes, folks, it is just tea.
That would be very interesting. Almost as funny as the mud battle between Obama and Hillary.
No,
Or you
I
throw
tell you
some
what,
balloon animals in there, that'd
another
be
funny
fun,
thing
yeah.
about that is, you know, when Viagra first came out, people were joking about the size of wood they developed.
I don't understand
And one guy said, I can pole vault across the branch in the backyard.
Oh man, that is hilarious. I can pole vault across the
the
what?
branch,
The
the brook in the backyard.
Tighten up your little thing again. Is it really tight? Oh yeah, that down there. Uh-huh.
There's these
Okay.
commercials are like these
Maybe
Insight
it's
commercials
my
they have.
turn.
No, it's down there.
Smiling
Well,
Bob, yeah, they
Well,
drive
well, not that,
It's
but
good
like
now.
he says in there,
Now, when
They-
you mess with it, it does it. We're getting static when you mess with it.
they throw things.
Here,
in
I can
there
give you
like,
the headphones, and you can mess with it yourself, and you hear what I'm talking about. When you now do what you would do when I said tighten it.
What?
Can I see the modern eugenics one?
Yeah.
Because when I opened the book, funny enough,
See what I mean? I'm
you
keep
get the
hearing
key
this,
off
and
of
I'm
the
wanting to
case.
stop it from happening.
Well, the
did the what?
Insight commercials add in that thing. It says, "See your doctor if you have an erection."
So
Allows
maybe you need
it's
to-
like I opened, it's actually
Do
in
it
this
so-
book.
Needle
It's in this book. Here,
I
Well,
don't know
maybe
what
you
the
need to put it
inside
so you
I
won't
will- I will
put any
read this
pressure
section.
against it.
If you are,
You know,
so
Yeah,
read
that
somewhere.
probably will fix it. What do you reckon?
elephantitis of the scrotum.
And that'll keep you
That's
from
not-
walking off with it.
It's on the scrotum. what is that?
This book.
This party has gone awry.
1922.
22.
Okay, so this book was published in 1922, and you've heard the disclaimers for the Insight and the Viagra stuff. Let me make sure there's not words I can't use here.
Proofreading.
Well, this is a scientific book. We're talking about science.
It was a science.
Yeah, not anymore. So this is in the diseases peculiar to men. Yes, this would be peculiar. Priapism is what it is called.
What?
Priapism.
An unnatural and involuntary congestion and erection of the penis is called priapism. It may originate in injuries of the brain or spinal cord. Other causes are mental overexertion and worry.
Mental overexertion.
Worry, yeah, hell yeah.
You'll be worried even more.
Yeah, yes, and they say that some of those medications for that issue
Uh-huh.
Causes.
can cause priapism,
Yep.
and you should call your doctor
What do you
if
call
you
a doctor
have priapisms for
4
4
hours.
or more hours, and I'm going like,
Everybody
what
should.
guy wouldn't like that?
Right. Well, if you call the doctor, you know what the doctor
The
says?
doctor says, good for you.
He says, congratulations. They
Yeah.
say that. Yeah.
This
Well, no, I
condition-
think they say like in 5 hours it falls off or something.
Oh.
This condition in adults is sometimes due to long abstinence, and sometimes no apparent cause can be found.
No apparent cause can be
So
found.
the treatment naturally depends upon the cause.
well,
It may be a faulty diet that causes the trouble, in which case it is necessary to make a change in nutrition. In many cases, nothing more is required than to, and this is in quotes, take it easy for a time, keep the bowels open, drink much cold water, and bathe the organ frequently in cold water. If the erections are accompanied by severe pain, a warm bath will bring relief.
Oh,
So you're going into shock from the
I know.
cold to the warm. That's a break like
That's
glass.
not
It
a.
is
That-
1920 what? 1922?
22.
so some of those
Meaning we
some
don't
of
know
those
what to do, so
treatments could
troubleshoot
also
at
be
home.
used to help overpopulation too.
there is no number to call for troubleshooting.
Just figure it out. If the
Take a cold
No,
shower
there's a number on there, but it's a 1-900 number.
and have your credit card ready.
yes. Charges will begin after this message.
If you experience erection for 4 hours or longer, go to the internet and
Pull out your credit card. Go to it.
Join the chat group.
Join the chat group.
Right.
We'll send you
No, there
things.
should be online support. There should be like a chat group for like if you go to the enzyme.com, there should be a chat room.
We should. You know what we should do?
Priapism chat room.
We should start a support.
warning was with it.
We should
I think
start a
was
support group for
exception.
prietism and advertise it in the back of the Express. You know, support group for prietism. Let's do it. That'd be so fun. For information on times of meetings, and I'll call this number or whatever.
This is, yeah.
Smiling
How
Bob
did y'all
really does
find
drive me up a
priapism
tree.
in there?
So
by
what
the
drives
way?
you-
Smiling Bob
The
really
book
does
was on
drive
the
me up a
table, and I
tree.
just
I
opened to
can't
the
stand
back,
the
looking
guy.
through the index, and it opened right to that page.
Oh.
And I was like, oh,
I
I
said
thought
some
that
analogy.
is-
Oh yeah, it's how depressed people view the world when people try to cheer them up, right?
Who are you said that?
If you're like really depressed and people try to cheer you up,
Uh-huh.
they just all look like smiling Bob.
Right. Well, have you been depressed? Are you depressed lately? Are you currently
His
depressed?
wife, she's got the
'Cause-
smiling
I have been.
You're sitting
No,
there-
I'm not
She's the one who-
currently doing that.
She's
You're sitting there
happy.
grinning.
She's
I don't know if you know that or
Yeah,
not.
no, she was like,
But you were grinning.
A lot of funny stuff going on.
Honey, I'm out of
There's
inside
some
again.
cookies.
Yeah, I guess you
Don't
are.
look at me.
Like smiling Bob.
Smiling Bob.
I really like this
Okay,
part
I
of the
agree.
wallpaper.
Imitate smiling Bob.
The what? Oh, the wallpaper. Absolutely.
Oh, I don't want to disrupt the bear.
Looks like we're all in outer space. Like
Which
What
one's
are
that
you-
better
what
for,
are you
Obama
trying to
or
do with
Hillary?
it?
Actually,
what's that show? Red
what's really
Dwarf.
funny about this?
The space comedy.
Made in China.
Oh, they got are there 50 stars on
That
there?
is
It looks like
Made
it's
in China. No,
They
there are not
booked it.
50 stars in there.
Probably more than 13, too.
I bet it's a communist plot. With those stars, it's probably a secret
Perhaps.
message in
There are
there for your
28
kids
stars for those of you out there.
to
Can you please
poison your
decode
children's
the
mind.
meaning of a 28-star American flag made in China?
Dun dun dun
Once
dun
the
dun.
message is hidden in the little speaking thing.
Well, there was a time when there were
And
28.
you roll it
states.
backwards, yeah, you know. There's a secret communist message in there.
Keep the bowels open.
Is it in there?
Yeah, keep the bowels open.
Keep the bow.
How cool.
I think it's a good idea to keep the bowels open.
I think they're connected somehow. They're close, and I think there's a connection. I can see. I'm guessing that after a certain period of time that
If they're not,
maybe it can from
cause some engorgement.
all the swelling or something, causes the bowels to be blocked or something. That would be very uncomfortable if the swelling got to that point. You see what I mean?
That'd be
Oh, dear.
elephantitis of the...
Elephantitis.
Dear, my
I love that
That's
word.
in there. That's on the page.
No,
I love that
the
word,
scrotum.
elephantitis of the
Water hose.
scrotum. That is just.
Oh no! I'm glad you didn't read that one.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't read it either.
What else is there?
You did
So-
read it.
I have seen pictures of that, like if you look at like the medical journals.
Sounds like it might be like
It's nasty.
the
Yeah,
elephantitis might be another word for bloating, perhaps.
I mean, the guy's like sitting on it, so and his feet are off the ground, so it's pretty.
Davine, can you hand me your little thing? Can you undo your wire enough? Will it come out, or is it all
Is
tied
it
up?
still staticking?
I'm getting a little. I wanted to make some adjustments in it in general. I'm pulling it. I wanted to make some adjustments in it in general. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Let me turn it off.
We'll just leave it like it is. I'll just do it. I've turned it down up here. Okay.
Touching on
Let's see.
just a random subject, what did you ever figure out with Johnny Ethanol?
Well, the last we talked, you were going to make some drawings,
Yes.
and I really haven't followed up on that.
Well, his
and,
MySpace has been the password has been forgotten by John.
Yeah, I've forgotten. So but that's not.
That's not the main thing. Okay.
No,
Who is so
John?
it doesn't even have the right.
John,
What?
could you make a windmill for the top of my house?
Perhaps.
You mean for electricity?
Yeah.
That would be
We can
fast.
buy those. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, what about just getting like a good old big old
Fan or something.
airplane prop?
uh-huh.
You
Or
really want to
couple
use
of-
this?
Your house gonna take off.
No, that's not aerodynamic. But
Yeah, you're gonna go
But I was
airplane prop and a
wondering-
old car alternator, and maybe a belt drive, and you can rig
What's
them
that
up.
say?
yeah, because when you buy them, they're very expensive.
That's right.
Yes.
I've thought about trying to rig one up.
I figure a airplane
think it has
propeller would be
black.
very expensive if it was operating.
There's
Off
gotta
a
be, like,
decommissioned
Well,
airplane.
the old ones are just wooden pieces of wood.
there has to be,
Well,
like,
yeah.
But you can
airplane
carve
covers.
them. You can carve a thing out of a board.
Yeah, you could get like salvage old fixed wing props.
Right.
Couple of big ones. I mean, really big, like 8 feet long.
Right, something to power it, something that would
Big
generate
ones.
electricity, right?
Something and put it on a
It's like the
real
little.
easy to move thing to go around.
It'd
and
be
go
like a
around. Just
very
with
almost
even,
almost a frictionless rotor. It'd have to be one.
yeah, even if you just get a little breeze, it'll still move.
Well, hello.
Doesn't have to be that frictionless. I mean,
Yeah.
most industrial bearings will do it.
You here for tea or you here for me?
Hey there. Come on in. We've been talking about you lately.
You're always talking about.
Yeah, we do. We talk.
Actually, I don't remember talking
Oh,
about him
dear.
just today.
Oh, that's
So do you think
Okay,
it's
that's much better.
possible or doable?
Sure. Yeah, I gotta keep
Oh.
going.
bank.
Oh, it is
To do.
possible and doable, I guess, if you just have the right
Okay.
resources to do it. with, you know.
That's how Kamias our resident genius here,
What's going on?
who can rig things together.
Aha.
What's the topic
That
of
does
that?
work. Hello?
John building a windmill.
Okay.
And whether we should reduce the presidential election to just Barack Obama and Hillary slugging you out in the middle of a big pile of mud, wearing 2-piece swimsuits.
Actually, there's some electronics. You want this windmill to
I like that
run,
better.
to integrate
Remember
into your
American Gladiators?
electrical
Yes.
system, right?
Yeah.
Two people
Because
on
if you use an
poles with
alternator,
big
it's
punching
12
sticks.
volt like a
That's
car.
why I
And
love
it's a
seeing that.
different,
I
it's
love
not the
seeing
same
that.
You
kind
wanna
of
see
power.
Hillary
It's
Clinton
not-
or
Right,
Barack
but
Obama
could
doing
you
it.
run into
That would be hilarious.
something
I would
that would
laugh for
convert?
days.
Yeah, you can, but then
Yeah.
those things cost money too. Where I was
But
thinking,
there have
actually,
to
he
be
might know the
spikes in the
electronics. to
Hello?
rig them.
Yes!
You know the electronics to rig
Release
them. Not only do you have to
time.
convert it, but you have to synchronize the
Fire.
timing because AC has a
The
has a
Flash
certain
Gordon
time
spinning.
And you have to get an
disc
electronic
with the
synchronizer
movies.
to make to synchronize it.
Piranhas.
Piranhas.
that's-
Piranhas in the middle of
And,
tar and
that's a real
fire.
electronic.
Swimming around in the middle of tar and fire and
Yes.
spikes.
You
In
have
addition to
the
the
you have the
generator.
manual for that, don't you? Sometimes you don't have it with you, perchance.
No.
But sometime bring that again and let me go through that again and look and figure out and make some.
Did you hear what happened to me?
Huh?
I did.
Yes. My computer got stolen.
I heard that your computer got stolen.
Oh, bummer.
Where from?
My car.
Thanks.
Yeah.
They
And
smashed
that
out
wasn't
the window or
all. I heard
something?
the tripod got stolen as well.
Yes, yes, I did.
But we were really upset to hear that your computer was stolen because we knew that you had all your work on that.
Pretty
and,
much, yeah.
And your episodes and your editing and
It's a bit like brain damage, really. A part of my mind is now gone.
yeah.
Did you find out right away, or was it like later you're already
Oh no,
homestead and going there?
it must have not been like more than 3 hours after it got stolen. I found out.
What's it? Things were bad.
Somebody thinks it's funny out there, huh?
Evidently.
I'm getting
The,
stolen.
uh,
I should probably check on my dog.
My roommate had her car parked back in that way, and we had just all given her our rent money.
Ooh.
And the day before, and she had it in her wallet, and it was in the car, and it got stolen.
Where was this?
It's
Anyone can have my
do you know the
secret
name of that little street back there?
I don't.
It's the one behind, what was it? It used to be what, First Union Bank or Citizens or what? I don't know. What?
Do you know where Edie's used to be?
Well, is it downtown, or do you parking your car
Downtown.
downtown somewhere?
John, I'll have
it
to
was
be
like a
running.
block behind Patton
Because I have to be
Avenue
at work.
downtown.
Thanks for having me on. I'll be back
Okay.
again. Thank
John,
you.
you can slide up here and have.
Yeah, slide up here. Nice meeting all.
Grab yourself a look in the box back there, and you'll find a teacup and a saucer. Grab yourself a teacup and a
Appreciate thinking
saucer.
on that. It's every Thursday. I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you soon. And I thought that was very insightful as that you gave the advice to parents that were going to homeschool their
Yes,
children.
and they should
That
do
was
this.
that part was.
What advice is that?
Well,
That was right on.
My advice basically is if you're
You
gonna
knew you asked the right question.
Oh, that would help, yes.
Sometimes I score.
Yeah, you asked the right question, and by God, got the right answer, didn't you?
I've always been curious about how the kids who are being homeschooled felt about that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that I would.
You can
I would prefer being
come and get in
homeschooled.
this one here, and hand me that cup. I think it's
Here, I'll just get it for.
okay. Yeah, slide down and give me the extra cup there.
I would have greatly preferred being homeschooled.
You would have preferred
Oh,
to be
yes,
homeschooled.
definitely.
Let's see.
Would have got done a lot faster. Wouldn't have to wait for everybody
think
else
this-
to figure
oh,
out what
yeah,
they were learning.
Here, John.
Plus, we.
I got so bored. They'd go over the same things
dilated my
for like an
pupils.
entire week to make sure.
Do you think it did?
Yes, I was in the control room and I was like,
Well, yeah, that too.
Being homeschooled dilated your pupils.
look different.
No, not being homeschooled out later.
I think you should go on, till maybe like middle school or whatever, so you get, people and interaction, and then after that, you should be able to go your own way. The whole high school
I don't
thing is
know.
like, kids spend more time
They always
fooling around than anything else.
people always say that homeschool kids don't have any social interaction skills.
Well, that's why they do it while they're young. Get used to people and
There's,
then go off.
the networking has increased though. Now it's a whole homeschool
Yeah.
network and it's.
But I know quite a few kids in public school who had good social skills, and they were utter dicks. So perhaps not having good social skills is a way of not being a little sociopath when you grow up.
I think people. Well, I think it's just a bad association that people think, "Cush, your school at home. You're not interacting with people. You're not a hermit. You're just learning. You're just learning at home. So you're still going out. You're still going to your soccer games. You're still going to all your
Oh, you think
social
you are?
events.
You think you are? If your parents are some kind of conservative, fundamentalist,
Well, then you're socialist
Nutcases.
with fundamentalists.
nutcases, they might not let you out and around people of your own age and of any diversity. You may only be.
And well, I'm okay with that too, because the kids of fundamentalist cases rarely fall far from the tree. So if they must be little junior fundamentalist cases,
No,
let them
that's
be-
not true.
I even counter quite.
That is not true because
Oh.
very often your mass murderers were raised by super religious fundamentalist people.
Right, like he
Yes.
says, they fall not far
Exactly.
from the tree.
Well, his implication was that they'll stay home and be fundamentalist and stay all by themselves
there.
and isolated
Well,
when that's not
there's a
true.
chair right there. Pull it
No,
up and have some
I'm
tea.
gonna have
Won't you have a
time
cup of
to,
tea?
No, gotta go.
We have some good tea.
Oh, what's that? What kind of tea is that?
Oh, you haven't had any of that?
Jasmine tea,
Jasmine tea.
right?
That's
Am I right?
Okay.
yeah.
So you were running
Pull up
studio?
a.
You were running.
I'll take a cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah, have a cookie.
Oh, goodbye.
camera.
on camera. I was never at the tea party.
Now come back in. Come back in and put your face.
Walking the soundboard.
What are you doing?
That's why I'm wanting to be off camera these days.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you here for?
I was filming the other show.
Why do you
Oh, that-
exist?
Your Joe's show.
Not my show.
No,
Okay.
it's the what's it called?
Is it over?
Yeah, it's I don't know what it's called. It's they're filming a show based on codependency.
Yeah,
So all the aspects of
interdependency.
Yeah.
And codependency. I was like, wow.
It's a series and it'll be on your
That's
TV.
most of the shows on your TV.
It'll be on your TV.
This one was like, oh, I can identify with this one. Anyway,
Codependency is easy to catch.
interdependency and stuff like that. Actually, Ursula wanted the cookie, and she said, "Come get one."
Okay. You could come back and wrap your head up in that thing and peek out the hole.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm just not one to be on TV these days.
Okay.
I just really don't want my
Behind the
face to be on
scenes,
this.
just the voice behind
It'll
it.
steal
Just
your
the
soul,
voice.
JJ.
I'm just the voice. I'm the guy behind the camera.
Right.
How about that?
Oh, speaking of faces in front of cameras, I encourage everyone here to sign up with Faces of Asheville
Yes.
and get your picture took.
Last.
Why is that?
For identification purposes for the government.
Jenny Bowen is putting together this art project with 300 portraits of Asheville characters, individuals in Asheville.
And she's going to blend them all together to one picture.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Just individual ones.
That would be
average, to get the average.
Where and how?
Go to, I believe it's facesofasheville.org.
.org or .com.
Interesting if you overlaid
Do
every
a Google search for Faces of Asheville.
I know it.
You're
can
thinking the
sign
same
up.
thing I
They have
was.
your
Saying what?
portrait taken.
What is the
This
average
is
face?
a picture.
This is the face of Asheville.
Broke it down.
She's going to put into
Everybody's
the
in
art
that one
project.
picture.
So it's going to be going on display in galleries.
Well, you know, there is
Eventually
something
going to
about
be a
Asheville
book.
that's strange.
It's sort of
Did you
a-
know that
Who's
Asheville
who of Asheville sort of
voted for
That's cool.
Kucinich?
No.
The last presidential election, that Kucinich got the highest amount of votes?
Yeah.
That's hardly surprising. It's gratifying, but
Yeah.
It depends on what your point of view is.
I'm inspired now. That was in the split primary that Kucinich won.
We've stolen.
And had
We've
to do it
stolen
at
your
the-
chair. You've
Yeah,
now
sorry.
been relegated to the end. Where
I've got a.
we're
But Kucinich won
Marching
partly
you
because
out
the primary
slowly.
was split because of the scheduling. You know, the presidency had its own little primary all off to itself, and that caused a very low voter turnout.
Yep.
And so the really inspired people voted, and that made Kucinich, that gave an advantage to
And
the
Kucinich were the inspired
Yeah,
people.
right,
Right. Right. Just like the Ron Paul people.
right.
Or
So how do you feel about Ron Paul now that you've seen him in action for a while? Because you used to have the big sticker on your truck about him.
Yeah, no,
You
Ron Paul is still my pick in the Republican primary. I can find nobody in the Republican primary that comes anywhere close to Ron Paul. You know, is there some Republican that you prefer over Ron Paul?
I still am waiting for the big Vegas SmackDown event, and then that would be the best way.
The mud wrestling?
Well, yeah, and various events, I think, held in Las Vegas. This is how our leaders are chosen, one-on-one against each other.
Or they could do it at the blackjack table, too. Like,
Yeah, it's a good idea. Give him some free drinks too.
For me, the
Well,
presidency.
yeah, it's hard work.
With the presidency, there's so many polls.